Ferrari has just made a statement that sent shockwaves through the Formula One world, and no one is more stunned than Lewis Hamilton. After a weekend in Miami filled with frustration, poor strategy, and a car that simply wouldn't respond, the last thing anyone expected was what came next. Just hours after the race, while fans and pundits were still dissecting Ferrari's disappointing performance, the team dropped a calm but cold message to the press, one that downplayed the urgency of their current struggles and hinted that Hamilton, not the team, might need to adapt more. For a driver who's built his career on pushing limits and demanding excellence, it felt like a slap in the face. His reaction? Silence. And if you know Hamilton, that silence speaks volumes. This isn't just another bad weekend. It might be the moment everything changes between Lewis and Ferrari. Because behind the scenes, tensions have been quietly rising. And now, after this statement, they've come dangerously close to the surface. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what Ferrari said, why it hit Hamilton so hard, what happened behind closed doors after the race, and how this could shape the rest of the 2025 season, not just for Hamilton, but for Ferrari's entire future. The Miami Grand Prix was already a tough pill to swallow for Hamilton. He started 12th, struggled with grip from the very first lap, and spent most of the race stuck in traffic, fighting midfield cars when he should have been chasing podiums. Ferrari's pace just wasn't there. The SF25 looked unstable in slow corners, unpredictable under braking, and completely lost when it came to tyre management. On the radio, you could hear the frustration creeping in, short replies, long silences, and, at one point, an almost sarcastic tone when the team gave him strategy instructions that made little sense. It wasn't just the car that let him down, it was the entire operation. Then came the real surprise. After the checkered flag, when everyone expected Ferrari to acknowledge the struggles and promise swift action, they did the opposite. In a calm, almost detached statement, the team suggested they weren't planning any drastic changes and, more controversially, hinted that Lewis might need to adjust more to the car, not the other way around. For a 7-time world champion who joined Ferrari to fight for wins, that message felt like a gut punch. He came in expecting urgency, vision, and bold steps forward. Instead, he got patience, passivity, and a subtle nudge that he might be the one who has to change. After that statement went public, things didn't cool down. They got even more tense behind the scenes. According to sources close to the team, Hamilton immediately requested a private meeting with team boss Fred Vasseur and a few senior engineers. He wasn't there to complain. He wanted answers. He wanted to know what the plan was, how they were going to fix the problems that had been haunting him since the start of the season. He expected urgency. What he got instead was caution. In that meeting, Vasseur made it clear Ferrari wouldn't rush. They'd take their time, collect more data, and avoid making the kind of rushed decisions that burned them last year. From the team's point of view, this was a smart, measured approach. But for Hamilton, it was hard to hear. He's used to being in teams that act fast, that adjust on the fly, that treat every race like a must-win. Sitting there, being told to be patient, felt completely at odds with the mindset he brought to Ferrari. That's where the real tension lies, not just in lap times or tyre wear, but in a deeper disagreement about how to move forward. Hamilton wants bold moves. Ferrari wants to play it safe, and that difference is starting to show. What made the situation even more frustrating for Hamilton was the data coming out of Miami. In qualifying, he was over 0.3 slower than Verstappen in the first sector alone. Most of that time was lost under braking into turn 1 and through the flowing corners of sector 1, where the rear of the car just wouldn't stay planted. The SF25 felt unpredictable. One lap it would grip, the next it would slide. And in the second sector, the low-speed, twisty part of the track, the rear tyres overheated quickly, making it almost impossible for him to get on the throttle with confidence. Compared to Piastri in the McLaren, Hamilton was losing nearly 0.8 per lap in race pace. That kind of gap isn't about engine power, it's about how the car handles when it's being pushed. The core issue is that the SF25 has a very narrow performance window. If everything isn't perfectly dialed in, ride height, balance, tyre temps, it just doesn't work. And that's a huge problem for a driver like Lewis, who relies on feeling connected to the car, especially when pushing to the limit. Right now, he doesn't trust it. It's holding him back, making him second-guess every corner entry, every braking point. Ferrari is planning to bring some updates to Imola and later to Barcelona, but these aren't game changers. They're small tweaks, minor adjustments to the floor and rear suspension, aimed at improving rear grip and tyre management. Helpful, sure, but not the aggressive overhaul Hamilton was hoping for. He wants a car he can fight with, not just survive in. And so far, Ferrari's approach still feels a step behind the urgency that's burning inside him. All of this has started to take a toll on Hamilton, not just on the track, but emotionally too. You can see it in his body language, hear it in his voice. The frustration is no longer just about lap times, it's about trust. Trust in the team, in the process, in the decisions being made behind the scenes. Hamilton didn't join Ferrari to be part of a slow rebuild. He came here to win, to make history, to drive a team forward with him. But right now, it feels like Ferrari is moving at a completely different speed. They're taking the cautious route, playing it safe, talking about collecting data and making slow progress. Meanwhile, Lewis is ready to attack now. He knows how quickly things can change in F1, and he doesn't want to wait around while others like Red Bull and McLaren keep pulling ahead. And that's where the real tension comes in. Is Ferrari already wasting Hamilton's time? Is this the first crack in what was supposed to be one of the most exciting partnerships in the sport's history? It's not just about the car anymore. It's about something deeper, about feeling heard, about having influence, about knowing that the team is matching your hunger. Right now, it's clear that there's a disconnect. Hamilton is pushing with everything he's got, trying to squeeze performance out of a car that won't give him what he needs. But if the team isn't willing to meet him halfway, if they keep holding back when he's ready to move, it's only a matter of time before that frustration turns into something bigger. This is no longer just a technical problem. It's a question of control, of belief, and whether or not Ferrari truly understands what it means to have Lewis Hamilton in their team. Looking ahead, there's still hope for Ferrari to turn things around. Imola is the next stop on the calendar, and Ferrari's planning to roll out a small update to the SF25. It's not a massive overhaul, but it's something that could address some of the issues Hamilton's been facing, like rear grip and tyre management. These tweaks might give him the confidence he's been missing, but it's going to take more than just a few small adjustments to fix everything that's been holding him back. After that, all eyes will turn to Barcelona, which could be a key turning point in Ferrari's season. The FIA's crackdown on flexible front wings could hurt teams like McLaren more than Ferrari, so there's potential for a big reset if Ferrari can get it right. But here's the catch. If these updates deliver and Ferrari's philosophy starts showing results, they might just win Hamilton's trust back. He'll see that the team is truly moving in the right direction, and that could reignite his belief in the project. But if the updates don't work, or if Ferrari's cautious approach continues, things could get tense fast. Hamilton's patience is running thin, and if he doesn't see progress, the pressure will only grow. The next few races will tell us everything. Imola is just around the corner, and Ferrari's small update to the SF25 might be exactly what Hamilton needs to turn things around. But what if it doesn't work? What if the team's cautious approach continues to hold them back? If that happens, Hamilton's frustration will only grow, and we could see a bigger problem emerge. Was Ferrari right to ask for patience? Or is Hamilton being left behind while other teams like Red Bull and McLaren push forward with everything they've got? This could be the turning point of Hamilton's Ferrari legacy. Either he'll get the car he needs and deliver, or he'll feel like Ferrari just isn't matching his pace. If Ferrari keeps playing it safe, they risk more than just a few bad weekends. They might risk losing Hamilton's belief in the team entirely. And if that happens, the entire 2025 season, and potentially more, could unravel. So, what do you think? Will Ferrari's approach pay off, or is this the beginning of a much bigger problem? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, make sure to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates. This season's going to be a roller coaster, and trust me, you won't want to miss how this story unfolds.